it's Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful day outside, but I am feeling like I need to design something today. I have no idea what. So let's just go look at the desk and see what's there. Come on. Okay, I'm excited about this. We are going to be doing today, I decided that we would finish the earrings that we started dyeing 2 weeks ago. I did a video called Prepping Jewelry Dyeing. So I did a dyeing wood and bone. And this is some of the wood. And I've got two of them we're going to do. This will be the first one. Then I'll do a separate video for the other pair. But I bought some balsa wood. And I got these at, let me remember, either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I can't remember. It's one of those two box stores. But these are just cut out balsa wood pieces, and they're extremely lightweight, so very great for jewelry, especially for earrings. And we decided we were going to dye those when we did the tutorial. So this first one, I'll set that one here. The first one that we dyed was this one. And is this not beautiful? Oh my goodness. Look at this. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I was stoked the way this came out. So what I did is I dyed this one using beet juice, paprika, and turmeric is this particular one. And the dark around the edges there is the beet juice. The yellow in the center is the turmeric. And there's just kind of an underlying, I'll get it right in a minute, hint of the paprika, which was kind of an orange color. So I only did it once, and you can really see the paprika a little better back here on the back. So that would be maybe in this area, a little more orange in that area. That's where the paprika is coming through. But this is the beet juice coming through on this where the purple is. And I didn't do the turmeric on the back of this, just the paprika and the beet juice. And then I concentrated some of that beet juice right down here on the bottom, and you can see how dark it is right there. It dried that way, yes, okay. But I'm going to use this front, and I layered it over and over and over again. So I started up here with the beet juice and went around and 2 or 3 times, let that soak in, came back, did a very light layer of the paprika, let that soak in. Then I came back and did a wash of turmeric in the middle. And I continued to repeat that pattern over and over until it became the shade that I wanted it to be. So the one in the video is not quite this dark because it was a short time to let it dry. But I took that same piece that I did in the video, and I went back a couple of days and went back over it several times and increased the dye color. And then I let it dry. And then once it dries, you will need to either spray it or resin it, whatever you want to do, to keep the dye set so that it doesn't run, like, because it will run. It's a natural dye. So what I did was I sprayed it with this right here. And there's also a matte clear of the same thing, and I use these in my paintings to to set the acrylics. But I used it to set the dye on the wood today. So either one of these will work. I used the clear gloss this time. All right, what else you will need? This little piece of wood right here is a 55 millimeter by 38 millimeters. So it's 55 this way, 38 across the widest point. And it's about 1 millimeter thick. It's real thin. Okay, so in the earring project that we're doing today, you will need a 10 millimeter jump ring, at least 2 of those. unless you're planning on doing just one earring, which you might. Okay. And then I used a 7mm oval jump ring. You don't have to use oval, you can do round, but 7mm in this, and you'll need 4 because you're doing 2 pair. Then you'll need about 6 or 8 of a 6mm jump ring, actually double that, so you'll need maybe 12 or 14 of a 6mm jump ring. And then this is an option, you don't have to do it, but I've got a 10mm bead cap that I'm going to use as an accent piece to cover some things. Do not have to do that. It looks just as beautiful without it, but I am using that. It's 10mm. Then I have a 20mm feather accent that's going to go on the back of the earring, right there. And then I have a bead connector right there. And you can get these anywhere. You can get them Fire Mountain, you can get them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any big box bead store will carry connectors, or you can find them online. So that's everything that's going in this particular earring. You will need a something to punch 2 holes into your wood with, however you want to do this. This is a leather punch, and it's a itty bitty tiny leather punch, little bitty, so because you don't want your holes to be very big. Okay, so the charms. Oh, well, that would be convenient to leave the charms off, wouldn't it? Okay, so I've got some charms that are going to go on this, and this is just a metal feather, and it is, I didn't measure this because I forgot. The feather itself is about a 10 to about 30mm long feather. And these right here, I also got at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And it came on a long string like this. I mean, there were just tons of them. Here's some silver ones. There was all different colors on it. They came in a long string, and I thought, I'm going to use those as individual things in projects. And it's been absolutely beautiful, great for earrings. Don't lose your chain either, because there are just multiple uses you can use with chain anytime. So that came off of there. And then also the feathers came on a long string like this. And I did get these at Michael's. I remember that. So, but a long string. And I just took one of those off, you can see. And I used even the jump ring that was on it. So that's what we're doing with that. All right, let me set these over here to the side. These little guys, now you can use whatever you want to, but these are pewter, and I bought these from Fire Mountain. And you know how sometimes they'll send out those sale catalogs and whatever, and you can get some things for like just, a couple of dollars or so. They had these pewter pieces in there, and it was like $2 for 100 of them. So I bought these because I thought, oh, those are just funky. They kind of look like claws, and since I do Native American work too, I thought, ooh, I better get those. So you're going to need 6 of these, or 7. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll need at least 5 so, of those. If you don't have something like that, you can pick anything. These are just things I had in my drawer. Okay, nothing that I had to just go digging for. I looked in my miscellaneous drawers to see what parts I had for components for bracelets and components for necklaces and earrings, and I came up with this conglomeration of stuff. Okay, we'll get started next. Okay, I'm going to show you where we're going. I've already done the first one here, and you can see this is where we're headed. This is what the front is going to look like. I am so stoked about this, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is the back of what it's going to look like on the back. So you'll look just as pretty coming as you do going. So this is where we're headed with this. And like I said, you can do anything you want to do with yours. This is just giving you an idea. Okay, so I've got my piece of wood dyed. I have sprayed it and I've let it dry with the gloss clear sealer on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bead this little guy right here. So let me get my tools out here. Well, actually, before I bead that, what I did was I set this down on the wood and centered it where I wanted it. That's the first thing I did. I took a pencil or a colored pencil or whatever, and I marked just like that the two spots that we're going to be drilling holes. Then the next thing I did was I took my hole punch and I punched that hole right there. And then I turned it and I punched the other hole right there. Okay. Now we're going to bead this little guy. So my pattern here, as you can see, you can see that. I'm going to do this centerpiece right here first. And I'm mixing metals. I've got silver and gold and the bronze all in this one piece. And I love mixing metals. I do it a lot in my jewelry. It's just part of what I do. Okay, so we are going to take the 6mm jump ring here and we're going to open it up. I may have to get my eyeballs down here so I can see. All right, we're going to open that up. We're going to put one of our little charm guys on there. Then we're going to start hooking it onto our charm. Now I'm making these go a certain direction, so I got to check to make sure I'm not putting them on backwards because I wanted everything to go inward like that towards the feather, as you can see over here. So that's the direction I'm going. Put number 2 on. Man, I don't know about y'all, but it's gotten really humid here. We've had nothing but rain for a week here. It's been insane. All right. Like my tomato plants are going, hey, somebody help us in the canoe. All right, we're going to take the feather next. Okay, and this right here is going to be important when we connect it to this because you want to make sure your feathers like aren't going the same way. Maybe Ken can zoom in on this. It looks like both feathers are kind of headed that direction on that, but when we put it together, we want to make sure they do this on the earrings. But anyway, when you connect it in, that's when it's important. All right. Put this little guy in the center one. I hope my hands are still in the camera. I love these. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to put these in the shop to sell. I'm not going to be real happy. But it is what it is. I can't make a living if I don't let people buy what I make. I'm turning it to make sure it's going the correct way when I put it on there. This is not difficult. It's just, you just have to pay attention. That's all. All right. And another one here. This little guy hooked on. All right, so there's where we are with the first part of it right there. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come back and hook it up onto the wood. Okay. We're going to hook this onto this where we punched our holes. And you're going to use, I told you earlier, a 7mm oval jump ring, which is great. You can still use that. It actually would probably might be better. But I'm using a 6mm or 7mm bronze colored jump ring, and either one of them are fine, actually. Okay, so what we're doing now is I'm looking at the earring here to see which way the feather is going on this side. So I'm turning my feather where it's going to be matching this other one. So I just flip my little doodad over. You're going to run your jump ring through both holes, and it's a little bit of a trick. You just have to keep working with it. Don't get frustrated. And then close it up. 7mm jump ring is great. It'll work fantastic. I'm turning this one so that the opening will be on the back, and then I'm barely mashing it in order to close it up and make it just barely oval. Okay. Number 2, jump ring. I'm going to open it up and we'll work it through both holes. Now, get down in there, baby. Get down in there. There it is, right there. All right. I'm going to close it up. Whoop. There it is, right there. Then I'm going to turn it just a little bit like that, and I'm going to just barely mash it. Kind of makes it like an oval. And then once you get those on there, you're going to push those down like so. Okay, so there's where we are in this part of the project, right there. All right, we're going to come back and put on the top. We're almost done. You're at the tail end of the project. All right, next thing we're going to do is this top part. I'm going to open up this jump ring in order to put it on this little accent piece that's going on the top. Put him on there like so. Close it up. I love jump rings and bead caps and crimp covers and all those fun things. I just love using stuff without that's, you know, purpose for something that it wasn't meant for. Okay, so you're going to take your large 10mm jump ring right here. It's going to go on the top. You're going to open it up. You're going to slide it on the top of the earring, like so. Okay, now you're going to take that. You're going to add, you don't have to do this, but I'm adding another one at the top of the little claw looking things. You see, I put it up there on the top. Your feather that already had the jump ring on it. Let's turn this one over to see which way it's going. It's going to go the same direction as the feather on the front. So it would be going this way. All right. Now, the last step before putting on the ear wire, you can do this. You do not have to do this. It's just up to you. I'm going to put a decorative bead cap on the front of this like so, like that. And I'm putting a decorative bead cap on the back. like that. You do not have to do that. It's just as beautiful without it. All right, now you're getting ready to add on your ear wire, and your jump ring on the top are going the same direction. So you're going to need an itty bitty 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 tiny jump ring to connect these two. So I'm using this one right here. It's about a 2 millimeter maybe. All right, so I just added that on the back of that. And I'm going to close this up. And you have your whole component together. Like so. Everything's together. Last thing. You're going to grab that little bitty tiny jump ring that you just put on there, that little bitty one. I don't know if you can see that or not, but itty bitty one. That's where your ear wire is going to go on. So you lay him down. Going to open up my ear wire just a bit, just enough to get this one on there. Ooh, I need to put my eyeballs on. Close it up. And there you go. You are done. Look at that. Wow, wow, wee. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Your earring's done. So, hey, if you're doing a custom dye job like this, that is beautiful because it is one of a kind and nobody else can do it. That is what makes this so special. The other thing too is don't be afraid to cross the plane of what you're looking at. Like the bottom of the earring would be the ending of the plane. Don't be afraid to cross that. That's why I have that feather going down on there. It just brings interest and it's not so boxy and contained. So just experiment with that and see what you can come up with. All right, this is so exciting. All right, here's pair number 1 of what we started on the wood dyeing tutorial. I'm thrilled and stoked about these. Okay, we're gonna go and I'm gonna do another series on the turquoise colored one that I dyed. So I'll see you on that next video.